Hello and welcome to the Extra Mile. I'm Linda BOUDREAUX. Kind of help talk about the zoo and remind everybody about how it should never be one of Acadiana's best kept secrets. Is that fair to say?
That is correct, yes.
So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
I'm just delighted because he woke up and he's just going all over the place.
I think he likes the warm lights.
So tell me a little bit about the Zoo of Acadiana in case people don't know.
The Zoo of Acadiana has actually been here for 21 years now.
I was going to ask how old it is.
21 years, yes, that is correct. We are home to just over 700 animals at this time.
Leah.
Yes. And of course, we just continue to keep expanding for everyone to come out and enjoy and learn from what we have to offer right here in Acadiana.
And it's really a spectacular zoo. I mean, there's a lot about it, the animals, but also the grounds and the buildings. I mean, everything about it just works really, really well. And it's been a work in progress, hasn't it?
Yes, and it always will be. It's always continuous. Of course, we always have to bring new exhibits, new venues to the zoo to keep the interest of the public to come.
But some of us have our dear old friends that we like a lot.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Yes.
But, you know, it's just a place to come out and enjoy. Families.
It is family, very,
Yes.
very family. Because
Yes.
I was telling you before we started, I had my granddaughter's birthday party out there a couple of years ago, and it was a perfect venue for children's birthday parties. There's a lot for them to do, and it's a good kind of educational learning environment at the same time.
That's correct. We have so much to offer, not only just the birthday party areas, but you've got the giant Jungle Lodge playground that we built for the children to enjoy, and of course the train ride as well.
Yes.
You're having a birthday party there. You're able to enjoy visiting with family and friends for the birthdays.
Go to the little petting zoo.
Go to the little petting zoo, go walk around and see all the animals, ride the train. Then parents can enjoy themselves and sit around the playground while the children are on the slides and the rock wall and just enjoying themselves. It's a great place,
It
yes.
really is. You were saying earlier that when you've been at the zoo for like a long
It's
time.
13 years.
And you've had a lot to do, I would imagine, with some of the evolution of it.
Yeah,
He
he's
wants to
going
go-
into my
He wants
shirt.
to go into your shirt, where it's probably nice and toasty warm. Now, you're perfectly comfortable sitting here holding a snake.
Yes, I absolutely love snakes. Not a good thing to say probably, but I really do not have much fear in regards to animals. But I also feel that animals know when you're an animal person.
And you are.
Yes, I am. I always have been since I was very little. My mother was awfully afraid of a lot of things that I did because I was always coming home with turtles or snakes or frogs.
You were one of those kids.
I was one of those kids, yes. Lived along the Bayou Teche and brought home everything I could find.
Now, we just named Jose, guys. He wasn't named until earlier.
That
but
is correct.
Jose comes out on lots of shows with Leah, so we thought he should have a name. I thought he should have a name, so we did that. But what is he? What kind of snake is he?
Jose is a Nielsen's milk snake. And as we were discussing earlier, there is a saying in regards to snakes that have these color patterns. Red on yellow, dead fellow. Red on black, a friend to Jack. And that is to let you know that if the pattern has the red on black, that it is a non-venomous snake.
Okay, so you can pick it up.
So you can pick it up, yes. I always like to tell people that it's better if you see a snake, go in the opposite direction. They are much more afraid of you than you are of them. If you think of your size compared to a snake, you're much larger.
Yeah.
But we definitely need snakes. They take care of the mice and rat population. And of course, mice and rats carry diseases that humans catch.
And snakes do not.
And snakes do not.
And
That is
so
correct.
in many ways, snakes are safer for us than rats and mice. because
Absolutely correct.
Unless we happen to stumble onto a venomous snake that bites us, they won't hurt us at all.
That's correct. They would rather go in the opposite direction.
And so will I.
Yes.
And so will I. Yeah, it's funny. People, a lot of times when they see a snake, their natural reaction is to try to hurt it, do it
To kill
harm,
it,
and really,
yes.
we don't have to do that.
No, do not have to do it. Actually, if you find a snake near your location, which are normally found in garages or underneath your home or in barns, it is there because it is actually taking care of the mice and rat population near your home. That's what they eat.
So we thank them for it.
Yes, you need to thank them for it.
Now, why is that a milk snake? Why do they call them milk snakes?
He does not drink milk.
So
He is
you have debunked the myth.
That's it. He is actually from Mexico. The Nielsen milk snakes are from the Mexico area. He is called a milk snake because he is found in the barns where all the cows are kept. But he is living there because he is taking care of the mice and rat population that are in the barns.
So again, he's doing his job. How do you end up with these animals at the zoo? Like, for example, where did he come from?
This one was donated to the Zoo of Acadiana. A lot of our reptiles and also our exotic birds are donated to the zoo. People tend to get them as pets and do not realize the care that is required for these animals.
So it's more than they bargained for?
More than they bargained for.
Yeah.
We really tell them, do your research before you go out and purchase a pet such as these. They can be quite costly. Snakes definitely need heat lamps to keep them warm because they're cold-blooded. The birds, people don't realize, but that's like dealing with a 2-year-old, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
For
up to
20 years.
Or 75 years,
Or
as I was going to
75
say.
years.
If it's
Oh,
a parrot, yes.
It's a nightmare.
So they get them, or someone's loved one has passed away that's owned an exotic animal, and then we'll get them. They'll donate them to the zoo. Of course, there is only so much we can take as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't take them all.
We can't take them all. We'd absolutely love to, but can't take them all because we are limited to our space and the exhibits that we have to showcase them. Now, this guy is used in our new Zoo Live show.
Now, what is your Zoo Live show?
Zoo Live show is a new animal show that we brought to the zoo just last year. We built an auditorium that we call the Zootorium. Very wonderful, decorated. Just even looking at the facility itself is a great adventure to go in. It is climate controlled, so if you've been at the zoo during a hot day, go take a 20 to 25 minute break and go see the Zoo Live show. It's comprised, she has probably about 5 to 6 different shows. So each time you go, you can actually see a different show with animals. Correct. We have a Eurasian owl, which is absolutely beautiful. Some exotic parrots, quadrimundis, the Nielsen milk snake. We have Persia, who's our serval cat. We have some animals indigenous to the state of Louisiana, a possum.
That's a good idea. You don't think about putting your own critters in the zoo.
Exactly.
And yet, we need to know about them, too.
Right. Well, a lot of people, they see the possums on the side of the road, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not alive anymore. And what I've learned from working at the zoo and having a possum in the show, possums do not carry diseases just like the snakes don't.
I did not know that.
That is correct. They are cold-blooded as well, so their body cannot maintain the diseases that humans can catch. So possums
so
really are
that's
no
the
threat
secret.
to us, except for digging holes in the ground and stuff. You'll find them doing that, but
That's not a threat.
that's not a
just
threat.
That's just a small annoyance.
Yes. We also have a pair of skunks. We had them descented. So, for a class to come out and be able to see these animals up close, sometimes be able to touch them and ask questions about them, it's a great experience.
It is. So this is something that you can do when you go to the zoo.
That's correct. We have our show times posted on the weekends. They are at noon, 2 and 4 o'clock. Ages 3 and above can go on in, of course, infants as well. But it's just a great show. It really is.
Yeah, you're doing a lot over there.
We continue to keep trying to grow and make it interesting
You
for
do.
everyone.
You really do. I want to talk a little bit about the kind of animals, not the ones that are donated, the exotic snakes and birds, but just kind of the whole idea about preservation, because that's really kind of the undergirding of the zoo, isn't it? It's to preserve,
That is correct.
Kind of preserving species, preserving life.
That is correct.
For the planet.
That, animal conservation is exactly what zoos are all about.
All zoos, is that the
Yes,
idea? All
ma'am.
zoos?
And if you look up the Zoo of Acadiana's mission statement on our website, that's exactly what it's going to tell you. Especially at our zoo, we do have some animals that are extinct in the wild. They are no longer found out in the wild. They're only found in zoos such as ours. I'm very proud to say that we have a great breeding program, and that we also work with other zoos so that we can send them fresh new bloodlines so they can start their breeding programs as well. So we do work with other zoos throughout the country, and we'll trade off babies for other babies to keep new fresh bloodlines
So
going.
the cousins aren't mating.
Yes, exactly.
So we have a mama or a mama to be hippopotamus somewhere in Florida now?
Yes, Henrietta, our pygmy hippo, last summer was sent to Florida to a gentleman who has some males, and she has been doing very well and breeding at this facility. So we are hoping soon, within the next few months or so, that we will get one of her babies, her offsprings, back at our zoo.
Is that kind of the agreement when you
That
send
is
her down
definitely the
there?
agreement, yes.
Now, what's it like for you and for people at the zoo to take care of these animals? I mean, they all have special needs, or at least distinct needs, specific needs.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, do y'all have like backgrounds in zoology and biology? I mean, how do you even know how to take care of them and keep them going?
Well, a lot of it is just hands-on. All of our zookeepers, though, are either in college or have graduated in biology or zoology. But a lot of it is just, it's a learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though you have a degree in something doesn't mean you know exactly what's going on.
Right.
Our staff of zookeepers at this present time are all females, which we have learned that the female staff tends to do a little bit of a better job, and I think it's just an instinct of that motherly nature of watching everything with the animals. Of course, with animals, they can't tell you when they're not
Right.
feeling well. So you have to watch what they eat, if they don't eat. There's just all different kind of signs, you know, if they're coming up to greet you when you go to the exhibit and stuff. So anyone who frequents our zoo knows that the animals get to know you very quickly.
Yeah.
They'll know your voice, they know your scent. So before they even see you, they're getting excited and coming to the front part of the exhibit to see you and tell you hello. So
And so if they're not doing that, then...
yes, you know something's going
not
on.
right, yeah.
Exactly, yes.
So do you have a vet on staff? Or do you...
Dr. Shannon Gosselin from All Creatures in New Iberia is actually our vet, and he comes out once a week. If needed, of course, we can definitely
Right.
call him. We've had to call him in the middle of the night already, and he'll come immediately. But once a week, he'll come by and he'll check over the records that all the zookeepers keep. It's a daily report, and they'll make any notes about any animals, and we just go from there.
Because there's a lot to be done. There's a lot.
It's
to
a lot,
this.
yes.
And this is a privately owned zoo.
Correct.
You know, and so if I remember correctly, the history of the zoo is just one of our community members woke up one day and said, "I think I want to start a zoo," and that's pretty much.
That's exactly what happened. He and his wife had an interest in exotic animals and wanted to start up with a little collection of it and decided to open a zoo, and that's what they did for this area.
Yeah,
so.
I remember that, and then
Yeah.
they sold it, and it's grown and blossomed ever
Grown
since.
quite a bit, yes, we have.
Now, one of the things that you wanted to talk about today specifically is your jungle camp.
Yes.
And what is the jungle camp?
Jungle Camp is a summer camp for children. It's actually 10 weeks long. Jungle Camp begins May 27th and goes all the way through July 29th. And the sessions are Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Oh,
and
it's all day.
It's all day. And it's for children ages 5 through 12 years old. They love it.
I can
Absolutely
I can
love it.
imagine.
Some children come for multiple weeks at a time.
So you come for 1 week, or
And then come back again 2 weeks later, and
Okay.
then, yes.
Okay.
I can honestly say we've had some children come the whole summer.
I was just thinking, how many weeks is that? I was
Yes,
just adding
it's
up
10
in my head.
weeks.
10 weeks. Okay. so-
Yes. They just enjoy it so much.
So what do they do?
Of course, they go to the Zoo Live show. They get to do that. They do animal interaction daily. So an animal is brought directly to them. It's a different one each day that they get to pet and ask the questions about. They do zoo tours. I do a endangered species scavenger hunt with them, and we'll ask questions, and then they end up at the animal that's an endangered species. We do have several of them at the zoo, and when you're walking around the zoo, we have a little sign in front of the exhibits that says vanishing animals, and it kind of lets people know that this animal is usually it's 200 animals or less when they become on that list.
So, you have to have a certain reverence for that.
Right,
don't you?
exactly. So they do the endangered species scavenger hunt. We also do a daily train ride with them. We get guest speakers from Soil and Conservation and Recycling Foundation to come in. They help the keepers by doing animal enrichment projects.
I was hoping so. I
Yes,
was hoping
most
they'd put more.
definitely. We do what's called bear popsicles and monkey pops, where we cut up fruit and vegetables and we freeze it, and then a couple of days later, they get to go watch the keepers put these popsicles in the exhibit, and then they let the animals out, and the animals go run and find them. So it's a cool refreshing retreat for the animals. The kids are involved, and it also helps our zookeepers with making diets.
Yeah.
So
everybody wins.
Yes, everybody wins, definitely. It's just great.
Well, you have some pictures, so we're just going to talk about these. I'm just going to go through them. And you can tell us what's going on.
This is actually during our Zoo Live show. The kids are watching the Eurasian owl that we have there, Douglas.
That's his name.
That's Douglas. Yeah, we call him Dougie for short. And this is one of our zookeepers who does the show. But the children just absolutely love it. Each of the Jungle Camp kids all have the same colored shirts on. That way they're easily identified in the zoo.
So if a kid gets loose.
Yeah, if a kid gets loose, that's right.
Sure.
We do a 10-to-1 ratio counselor to children, but a lot of times it's less than that because I want to make sure everyone is comfortable, everyone knows where everyone's at, So it's usually a 6-to-1 ratio or 7-to-1 ratio with children versus
Do
the
you
counselor.
put like all the 5-year-olds together and the 6-year-olds together?
It varies.
Okay.
Sometimes they want to be in groups with other family members or neighborhood kids, but we'll try and keep them together because of the art lesson projects and
Yeah, because
things.
they can't all do the same thing.
Exactly.
So this one we're visiting with the owl, and I guess learning about the owl. a
Learning
bit.
about the Eurasian owl, yes.
Do they get to touch him? No. Huh?
Not that
I
one,
wouldn't
no.
think so, but I thought I'd ask.
Now this is another one. They're also in the zootorium. This is Jack, our Moluccan cockatoo. Jack's a great bird to use for the educational purposes because he does allow the children to touch him. He was actually born at the zoo.
Really?
Yes. And he does not fly, so he's a great one to take out and use for all these educational purposes, as well as go into the retirement facilities or some of the elementary schools that are working on projects in regards to animals. We can bring Jack out.
So, like, if a retirement home wanted you to come by and bring Jack, you would do that?
Yes, we make arrangements to do that. We'll normally bring anywhere from 3 to 4 animals. It's great for them. They absolutely
Oh my gosh,
love the
yes.
interaction.
Yes, they do.
What I enjoy about it most is they'll start sitting there and telling us stories of the wild animals that they had as children, and it brings back their memories for them.
That's right. I would imagine so. Okay, and then this one is...
This is one large group of all the Jungle Camp children from last year. As you can see, the background of the Zoo Live show, the Zootorium in the background. I was telling you, just the facility alone is so interesting to go in and see. Very well decorated, and the kids just love it.
Okay, so that's kind of their gathering place.
That's it, yes. Every day, daily, they get a Zoo Live show.
Okay.
So we do that right at the end before it's time to go home with mom and dad.
After they have a full day at the zoo.
Yes.
Okay, and this one is...
This is our giant Jungle Lodge playground.
And it is wonderful.
It's
It's
multiple
really
levels and everything else.
It's
Yes,
really
it's
cool.
really great. All the kids absolutely love it. Each group will take turns going and playing on this playground daily. So it took a couple of years of fundraising for that as well.
Because really, all these things have to be provided through community support, right?
Correct.
Because
Yes, ma'am.
it's not like you get
We don't
tax
have-
money or grants to do.
Correct. Well, some of it is grant money. Usually it's not enough grant money to help us complete the projects.
Okay. So you might get a kind of like a seed grant or an initiating grant.
Correct. Yes.
And I think this is our last photograph. And who do we have in this one?
Oh, and you had to ask a question.
did,
I can't
didn't
remember
I?
his name. His name is Mickey, and he is a bird that puts on a pretty good show. Now, in nature, he would actually eat snakes like this one.
Oh.
So
guess
on the
everything needs
show,
something, huh?
yes. So on the in the show, they'll use a rubber snake, and he'll pull it and slap it around and show him how actually, if he was out in nature, what he would do to kill it before he would eat it.
It
But
looks like they kind of try and keep their feet away from him. huh?
yeah, he's not aggressive at all.
He's just busy being him.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So again, the dates for the dates for the
Jungle Camp, the
Camp.
first week begins May 27th.
so
The slots do fill up quickly, so we do
Okay.
ask people to enroll early. We require a $25 deposit to hold your child's spot.
And what's the total cost?
It's $125 for the week.
Which is really a great.
Well, when we
price.
provide them with the Jungle Camp shirt, they get a backpack.
Ooh, backpack.
Yes, we provide them with their own water bottle because, of course, we make them drink water constantly all
That's
day
right, 'cause
long.
they're outside most
They're
of the
outside
time.
all day long. We provide them with lunch and snacks. And then on Fridays is a great day because they get to go behind the scenes that the general public's not allowed to go, which is the keeper kitchen where all the diets are prepared. They'll even help the keepers make some of the diets. Then they also go to our vet clinic. So if we have any sick animals in there, they get to see it. And they also get to see all the equipment that the zookeepers and the veterinarian may have to use.
So it's really educational.
It's definitely
in a-
educational
in a
as well,
Huge
yes.
way. in a
Correct.
huge way. So that's
Yes.
a good. This is a good summer project for some of our kids. If parents are interested, they just need to get in touch with you ASAP.
Definitely. They can call the gift shop.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I know we're getting a little short on time, and I don't really want to let today's show end without talking about our very recent giraffe wedding, because I just loved it that Gabriel and Evangeline got married at the zoo. What was that all about?
It was amazing. We really wanted to thank everyone for the support in helping us raise the money to purchase Evangeline. Gabriel had been there 6 years without a mate, and we knew soon he would require a mate. So we started raising funds 2 years ago. It took us 2 years to raise the money to get her. She's very expensive.
Where did she come from?
She actually came from Kansas. So we were able to purchase her. We had to get, of course, a truck to ship her this way.
Yeah,
And then you have to get insurance on them for the traveling in case something should happen. But we got her in October.
did they get along? Did they get along right away?
They did not get along right away. Gabriel, our male giraffe, we got him when he was 7 months old. So as all the employees at the zoo and our frequent customers of the zoo spoiled him rotten. And, seeing him grow up, we didn't even think he was that large until Evangeline stepped out the trailer and we realized he's a
big
giant.
boy. He's a
Yes.
big boy.
18 feet tall, and she's of course is a typical little petite female. She is older than him. She's 9 years old. She's already had 3 baby giraffes. So we did make sure when purchasing a female, it was one that has produced before in the past.
Okay, and produced in captivity.
Correct.
Which is really kind of the key here.
Yes, definitely. So we are definitely hoping. We wanted to share with the community that we did finally get her. Thank everyone for helping us get her. We wanted to marry them off and in big hopes that next year we'll have a baby giraffe. The gestational period for a female is actually 18 months.
Okay, so in a year and a half, 2 years.
Yes.
Maybe,
Hopefully we'll have a baby shower
What
and invite
fun.
everyone to come back.
What fun.
This was such a big hit. At the wedding itself, I spoke to people who had come in from Florida for the weekend for the giraffe. They were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the wedding. I spoke to people from Virginia. We had quite a few people from New Orleans and Morgan City and Lake Charles and everywhere. People who are just basically giraffe lovers, and the ones who do know Gabriel wanted to see this day happen and supported us in doing it.
How wonderful.
So it was great. It was really great.
Community support really is a key then for y'all. So
Yes,
how can people
definitely.
help you in the last couple of seconds that we have?
Friends of the Zoo is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so you can definitely make donations to the zoo and use it as a tax write-off.
And, supporting the zoo really does, it's one of those things that really does make Acadiana a better place to be. So I want to thank you for all the work that you do and the work that you've been doing and just the wonderful creative programming that's
Thank you.
over there. It's always such a joy.
Thank you very much.
And I want to thank you for bringing our little buddy, Jose, who has settled down, I think, and he seems to be seen a little bit happier
Yes.
at the end of the show. So, Leah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
And thank you for watching The Extra Mile.